Yo, what up, nerds? It's the weekend. It's a brand new anime streaming showcase. I get to showcase my ass in various anime that is all over the internet for you to watch and ingest and enjoy. And we're in the middle of summer of ass still, so I am suggesting things that can prevent you from going outside into the hot, hot sun and dying of dehydration, sunburn, and all that terrible cancer that the sun likes to spit at us from space. So this week we're going to look at a little bit of an older series, kind of a classic by standards of some anime fans. I think it's a classic in my opinion, but we're going to look at Trigun, and let's just have some fun with this one, alright? I've been doing this show for a little while now, and I've looked at a number of series from many different eras or decades, but I'll concede that most I've shared are from the last 10 years, and while I think that's awesome and all of those series are great, I also believe it's rather important to look to the past and recognize series from even further back to compare and contrast modern and classic series. I also realize that modern and classic are completely relative, and to everyone else that means nothing. But my stance on those classifications will be completely different from you, the viewers, but I've decided to recheck out a series that has left a lasting impression not only on the anime community and is still discussed and brought up in various "if you like this, then you might like this" lists and considerations in the community, but it's also one of my favorites. Trigun, in my experience, has always been a series that is offered up in these circles of Cowboy Bebop, Outlaw Star, Samurai Champloo, and various other classics the anime industry and fans deliberate. It has certainly earned its legacy, but can that legacy transfer to newcomers to the industry, or is it a fading relic soon to be forgotten? Vash the Stampede, aka the humanoid typhoon, is the baddest dude in the wild futuristic west. He will kill, murder, pillage, and even level complete towns on a whim because he's just a complete demon. He's a nuisance that has a 60 trillion double dollar bounty on his head that has kept him on the run for most of his life. The first episode sort of lays the groundwork of what to expect for approximately the first core or the first half of the series. It's silly slapstick or poor timing coincidences that create scenarios for Vash and his new followers from the Bernardelli insurance company to get mixed up in and cause yet another ruckus around the world. Meryl Streep and Millie Thompson are tasked with tracking down Vash the Stampede for their company to evaluate all of the damage and destruction that he causes across the land. Unfortunately for both of them, all of the bad rumors of Vash the world has, no one is exactly sure what he looks like or who he even is. This premise lasts just a bevy of episodes, but it allows Vash to showcase his heart really is in a good place, and while he has caused and created some true tragedies in his life, he's aiming to ensure he's correcting not only them, but he's safeguarding them from ever occurring again. Now, this constant twisting and continuous turn of emotional moments is a staple of Trigun and other series of this time. It's often a criticism of the series too, as it can disrupt various scenes from time to time, like when Vash can be joking and goofing around 1 second, then the very next sense a very negative energy or a negative moment, and then immediately go right back to being a goof. It's not show breaking, and it's certainly not enough to deter most viewers, it just happens a lot, so be aware of the constant emotional roller coaster ahead. The first half of the series is more devoted to character and world development, and it's not until the latter half and really the last third of the series that an overarching story comes forward. Trigun does feature one of my biggest pet peeves in anime, or really any TV program, a clip show. Just after the world building, and right before the endgame kicks off, we're treated to a summary of everything that's led to that point. Now, it's structured very well as an episode and a storytelling gimmick, as it's in the form of a letter that Millie and Meryl are writing to their bosses to ensure to the company that they are working hard and they are keeping tabs on everything that Vash the Stampede does. But it's a huge annoyance. Spending 12 episodes building a world, essentially delaying the story arc to continue, but then summing up all of those episodes in a single 22-minute episode seems as though the world building could have just been a lot shorter, making more room for the story development. Small rant aside, once we're in the second half of the series and the group the gung-ho guns arrive, there is very little stopping the series. The remainder then focuses on the fight of Vash the Stampede and the gung-ho guns, as well as the learning of Vash's past, and it is one of the most pleasing, intriguing, insightful flashback arcs I think I've ever seen in an anime. It explains many unanswered questions or lingered questions that the viewer may have, as well as leading up to the finale and setting up a villain. Trigun, despite its premise, is really centralized and really focused and all about Vash the Stampede. It's about Vash, redemption, and humanity. Vash has to understand his purpose without delving into spoiled territory. I won't say anything. He then has to redeem himself and his actions against humanity, and then deal with humanity that has little remorse for his new outlook and his new stance. To them, he's just a complete monstrous menace, and Vash is often gritting through his teeth with a smile and fighting back tears to rescue a species that wants nothing to do with him. And despite all the good that he's capable of and putting out into the world, they simply cannot look past his identity and his past, and they're refusing to accept a changed person. His inner battle spans the series and gets great growth and progression through the 26 episodes. Additionally, it does help that the English dubbing was way ahead of the times and is still incredible as it is presently. Johnny Young Bosch's breakout anime role is in Vash the Stampede, and it launched him into anime stardom. The remainder of the cast excels in their characters, ranging from similar types like the quiet but murderously evil Logato to the bombastic Meryl and the timid Millie. The mere fact that Trigun is as memorable and everlasting as it is nearly 15 to 20 years after its debut, depending on your country, it truly helps define it as a classic to me. If you do see it in any best of lists, you better believe it's in there not from nostalgia, but because it has a lasting creativity and style that has ensured that it's claimed that achievement. There is something special about Trigun, and if you can get past its opening episodes and reach the point where the series really kicks into its final stretch, you'll be treated to a series that has stood the test of time and continues to linger happily in many anime fans' memories. So there we have it. Another brand new anime streaming showcase. I'm all about showing you my ass, and I'm so happy to talk about Trigun. It's such a great series. There's a reason that people still tout about it, still talk about it, still show it around and throw it off, and it's really great. Dubbing's great, the music's great, the characters are great. It's such a great, quaint story. The annoyance is that first opening number of episodes. If you really can get past that and just look at the series, it's only 26 episodes, you will find a series that you see the influence it has had as well as the influences it pulls from other series, and it's really remarkable. And I do think that it is a classic in every sense of the word. Obviously, opinions are opinions. Everyone's entitled to their own, and you may not think so, but I think if you take the time to sit down with Trigun and experience it, you will enjoy it. You can find it pretty much streaming anywhere except Netflix. Hulu has it, both dubbed and subbed. Funimation has both dubbed and subbed, and I urge you to check it out. It's worth your time. Meanwhile, it's still hot. It's still the summer. I'm trying to stay cool. I'm trying to stay inside, make more of these things for you guys, as well as play some video games and watch movies and all that fun stuff. I'd say go watch Dunkirk and go play Fire Pro Wrestling World, because those games rock and the movies rock, and I'm sure there's other stuff that I could talk about, but I'm trying not to take too much of your time. So enjoy your summer, and we will see you next time on a brand new anime streaming showcase. See you around, nerds.